Take it easy.
Welcome to the show. Pull up your seats where the music flows. And vibe so sweet. We've got a night full of joy and laughter. Just press play for the rhythm and feel the banter. Lights still low, set the mood just right. Kick up your feet, we're gonna vibe all night. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that turbo key. Come in on the late show. Sing it on the end. Hope you're feeling bright. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With tunes that you be man. T with pizza spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that turbo key. Come in on the late show. Sing it on the end. Hope you're feeling bright. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With tunes that you be man. T with pizza spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome back, listen us to a cozy nook. Where the beats go like pages in a favorite book. Settling, feel the rhythm in every hook. Tonight's the night, let's dance and cook. You have a great time, make yourself at home. In this rhythmic zone, where the melodies from. See with peace and links are where music keeps you warm. Join the jam, find your peace in the storm. Welcome to the groove, it's tea with me tonight. Feel the reggae flow, let it make the world right. Come and find your comfort, you meet the other strike. With every track we spin, you take you to new heights. It's a place to chill, with rhythms that enchant. Join us the moment, let's give you all the chance. Turn up the sweet serenades, let the music down. Hope you come a prayer time, I swear on in that chair. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that turbo key. Come in on the late show. Sing it on the end. Hope you're feeling bright. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With tunes that you be man. T with pizza spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that turbo key. Come in on the late show. Sing it on the end. Hope you're feeling bright. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With tunes that you be man. Tea with pizza spot. The best in podcast land. Hey, good night, host. It's time to unwind. Think favorite tracks. Leave your stress behind. Welcome to the show. This song is just for you. Be with peace, your crew. Where dreams is helping you. Come in on the late show. Sing along the end. Hope you're feeling bright. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With tunes that you demand. Tea with peace, the spot. Leave your sleep podcast land.
so close, and I'm gonna take you traveling the world. I'm gonna love you, babe, cross not hope to die.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes! Time! Welcome back to Tea with P, where the T is beer and the P is me, and you are here to talk shit in the cannabis space about all things nudes, culture, science, health, you name it. There is nothing off the table here. Turn down my headset right here a little bit because I'm echoing loudly into my ear. Perfect. Guys, welcome in. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. We got an incredible show for you in store today. We've got a great guest, a legend in the space. We're talking John Barfello. Yes, from Canadian Cannabis. And let me tell you, this is a role model of mine, somebody that I used to look up to before I started making canna content. This guy essentially had a hand in teaching me how to grow. And I'm going to fanboy a little bit when he comes around, but at the bottom of the hour, top of the next hour, we're going to be talking to John, legend, and I cannot wait. Guys, shout out to you guys for pulling up. If this is your first time here, every Wednesday, we like to go live. I like to talk about all things nudes, culture, science, health surrounding our cannabis space. And I like to do it here on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Huge shout out to my patrons, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting me. We are crowdfunded and dream driven around here, so I appreciate all of you guys who support me. Brand new live grow classes starting up next month. Patreon.com/pigeons420. If you're a new grower or you're an advanced grower and you just kind of want to see how things are done, come join. We start from seed, we finish at cure, and I guarantee that we will harvest everybody anywhere between a quarter to a half pound of weed. So we'll make it well worth your dollar. That's at patreon.com/pigeons420. And of course, you can see your name at the bottom of the screen too, which is pretty damn awesome. A few housekeeping items that I wanted to mention. I'm a little bit under the weather today. It probably would have been a pretty good idea to postpone the show, but no, we don't do that. We're not doing that. So we're going to keep it running, man. I didn't want to reschedule with John. John's a hell of a guy, and I wanted this opportunity. So we're going to run it, baby. We're going to run it. Huge shout out to you guys in the chat for pulling up. SMK, long time, brother. Good to see you, man. Mr. S, what is up, friend? CLTV, always here. Never lets me down. Good to see you, homie. Reginald the Mechanic Foo. Good to see you, brother, my fellow Canadian. Bear Grows. Good to see you. Richard Bunt. Hello. This proves that these aren't pre-recorded. I don't know what it matters, but it doesn't. Chapo, good to see you, man. Oh, El Shad. That's not Chapo, that's El Shad. Jude Boudreau. Good to see you too, my friend. On roll, what's up, brother? Nerd Grow Club, what's up? Good to see you, man. ADHD OG, the innovator of Garth Twine. Oh, I like that, boy. I like that. Logan, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. Thanks for pulling up. Tops are tops. Good evening. Long time. I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you, brother. Roger Allen, how you doing? Good to see you. Trent's got a garden. Are you solo tonight, P? Of course not. Of course not. I can't run an operation like this by myself. Are you kidding me? J Rats, good to see you. Not given. Hello. Rogue Farms. Hold on. Mrs. P, how you doing?
Good. I'm good.
Yeah. Coming out of a deep freeze here, aren't we?
Oh my god. Yes. I'm so looking forward to the next week when it's supposed to be like -3.
Yeah. -3. We're possibly looking at plus temperatures too, which is pretty damn awesome. We've been sitting at like a -50 degrees Celsius, which is like -62.5 degrees freedom units for those that are trying to do the conversion in your head.
I would have even taken Rob's -12 or whatever it was the other day.
Wouldn't it? Check out that. How's this, Deezy? You like that, brother? How's this?
Nice.
Hey, how's that, brother? How's that? You like that? Default, good to see you. Good to see you, girl. Growing is easy. Holla. We got a great show in store today. One thing that I want to kind of ask you guys, and I want you to mull this over in regards to a story that we have tonight. I want to ask you, when you're out shopping, looking for either genetics or some flower, or even dabs for that matter, do you use the picture as reference to the product? That's a simple question. That's what I want you to think about as we fire off the show here. I personally, compare purchasing genetics similar to that of looking at a menu for supper at a restaurant. If there's no picture, I'm not interested. So that's a question I want to ask you guys. Do you guys look at the picture when you're searching for genetics or flower? We got a great show in store, guys. Titan from Square One wakes up, chose violence, and I love it. We're going to be talking about that. There's deception in the community, and I want to hash that out. We're going to be talking to former Navy SEAL who took down Osama bin Laden is opening up his very own dispensary. I like that. We're going to be talking about that. There's a data breach and so much more right after these messages.
You motherfuckers. Say hello to my little blend. Yeah. Oh. Oh, motherfuckers. Mycorrhizae. Beneficial bacteria. Silica. Yeah, you take that. You take that. Yeah. Oh, motherfuckers. This? You want some of this, huh? Oh. Oh, beneficial bacteria! Ah, humic acid! You want some of that? Oh, you want some of that? Motherfuckers! Oh, motherfucker! Crow! Oh!
Eliminate all the bad vibes in your garden with Stash Blend today.
Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, I think without further ado, we are going to have ourselves a hoot. I'm soaking on a little bit of peyote Skittles from my most recent harvest. I definitely learned that the frosted lemonade wrecks me. Wrecks me. The other night I was live and I was just having rips, and I got to admit, I got pretty fucking high, and I did not intend on that. And I went to bed just like drogged right out, just it wrecked me. Yeah, it wrecked me. It was a great smoke. So frosted lemonade. That's Swank Genetics. This is peyote Skittles. Shout out to Seedsman. If you're looking for quality genetics, you can hit up Seedsman too. Actually, as a matter of fact, use promo code Pigeons420, and you can hit yourself up with some quality genetics from some quality breeders or some stuff that Seedsman's doing on their own, man. I can appreciate that. Mama Kush 420. Well, I'll be damned. Good to see you, girl. Hope you're well and warm today. Shout out to you and Papa. I'm gonna have a rip, and then we are jumping in to the nudes. Oh, I don't have a lighter. Oh, I go. Got it. It's on the floor. Cheers, friends. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the nudes.
Canna News. All things culture, science, and health. Your one-stop shop for all things Canna News.
I'm recovering. I am recovering. Yo, huge shout out to Papa Kush, who just had a triple bypass. My goodness.
What?
Sending nothing but love to you and yours, my dear. Shout out to Papa Kush. It was a pleasure meeting the both of you in LA. Air Force Demon 420. Well, I'll be damn. Haven't seen that guy in a minute. Good to see you, brother. That's a legendary patron right there, my friends. Good to see you. And where can I get that? Who comes up with these F-tard names, and where can I get some? Well, we're going to dive into that and so much more. First thing that I want to discuss today on the nudes is Square One Genetics. Square One Genetics over on X. If you guys are familiar with Titan, he woke up and he chose calling out motherfuckers. and I'm all about it. If you guys aren't familiar with Titan from Square One, he literally runs the Square One Genetics. Hell of a breeder, great dude. Invited him on the show. Doesn't like doing podcasts, but dating back to about February 9th, Titan posted this on his X, and he's actually posting the same thing on his Instagram too. Lit Farms removed the leaves and just called it a different strain. What is he referring to? Well, if you were to do some investigative journalism here or some investigating, you would notice that these two buds are exactly the same, but it's been manipulated to look like two different genetics. He says using the same flower as two different strains? Lol. Trimmed up the leaves and called it a different strain. Before I get too far into this, what's your opinion about taking photos of genetics and posting them as something else? I'm curious what you guys think of it. Square One or Titan is is quite convinced that this is deception. He also calls, sorry, that was from Umami. No, this is Lit Farms. He's not done there. Umami Seeds, quote, taking a picture of Nana Glue, posted it in our Discord, and called it their own. What? So here it is right here. Nana Glue, grown by, and I'm gone. And then they have Biz Quick, this $200 genetic. It's the exact same photo on the left on their website for $200. It doesn't end there, guys. It doesn't end there. Umami, more. Got rid of the Stolen Biz Quick photo, and replaced it with one that has clear thrip damage. So I guess after getting a little bit of heat, they decided to change the photo and put a photo up of clear thrips damage. There it is, right there. Drip damage. It's like, oh my God, you guys aren't doing yourselves any good. It doesn't end there. He posts again. Umami Seeds. He actually called them out. So if you scroll down, maybe it's on the last one with the umami. This one. So he calls, no, not this one. He calls them out. Do you think Umami grows their own seeds? He put a poll to his audience, and 79% of people said no. And he asked, do you even grow your own seeds? It was seen 2 hours ago, and no results. This to me is a little crazy, but does it show blatant deception? I guess that's where the jury's still out. Are these people lazy? Are they trying to pull a fast one over their customers' eyes? What is it? I'm kind of curious to know. It would be one thing. Let's say, for example, you released 10 new genetics and you listed all these genetics on your website, and temporarily you just put one genetic picture for each and every single one. Sure, that would be somewhat understandable. But why would you flip the image or rotate the image to make it look different? This is what they're saying. This is what he's saying. He says, why do 3 different cultivars have the same photo? He says it gets worse. It's the same photo. 4 more genetics. And it kind of makes you wonder, are they hiding something? Or are they labeled? Or are they lazy? This was DNA genetics. DNA genetics for this next one. And then surely there's another one. This is the one where he calls them out for Lit Farms. Surely this is happening multiple times is not an accident. For those that don't know, Schuberto is the photographer for Lit. He challenged me to find another example, so of course I obliged. Lit Farms OGF2, cross with permanent marker. It seems as if he found another one. And then he calls out the photographer, the photographer. The photographer says, yeah, I took these photos before and after. Quick trim, and it's the same strain. I'm sure whoever posted on the Lit page made a mistake labeling, or could have been a name change mix up in folders. Who knows, but I don't think it's a huge conspiracy. Titan says, nah, bro. You guys are doing this with multiple strains. You and Ray are straight scamming. You both know people buy seeds based on the photo. Stop playing. Chiberto responds, cool story. Not a story. This is a picture book. Then share another chapter. I only see one instance. If you that mad, bro, life's not turning out the way you planned. Work harder. Quit crying. So it just, there's no real reason or no real response as to why these breeders are using the exact same photos. It goes on. Ethos Genetics flipped the image and rotated it. This is not a coincidence or an accident. These seed makers are deceiving you. Say something. So this is where it's like, okay, maybe they're not trying to deceive. Maybe it was just an issue. Maybe it was a mistake. But if you look at this photo, you've got the exact same plant curling upwards, and then the exact same plant image rotated curling downwards. Ethos Cookies number 4, and then Endgame RBX EC number 4 line. So 3 genetic photos flipped and rotated. I don't think it's a good look myself. And as a matter of fact, there's another one. This is Happy Valley Genetics, also Ethos, 2 different strains, same picture. Everglades OG, Pineapple Diesel. Yeah, just kind of Cheerios in regards to what the response is going to be. You know, Titan tagged him right here. I can see it. Ethos Genetics. Let me show it on the screen, babe. Ethos Genetics was tagged. Nope, me or mine. There you go. Ethos Genetics. He tagged him in the comments section on the 15th. That was 4 days ago. Surely if this was a mistake, somebody would just say, yeah, sorry about that. We're fucking lazy. We just threw up a bunch of images just to placehold, and then we were going to go back and switch it. I'm curious what you guys think. Is this a huge nothing burger, or does it seem like people are legitimately trying to deceive their customers? I'm still out. I think if you had like 1 or 2 examples of this happening, I'd be like, yeah, coincidence, that sucks. Hopefully they can get it figured out. But the fact that you've got 4 different breeders, 4 different websites, 4 different companies, and you still have the same issue. I don't know, guys. And as I said at the top of the show, when I am looking for genetics, heck, when I'm at the grocery store and I'm looking, or at the restaurant and I'm looking for food, I look at the picture. Right, Mrs. P?
You will not order something if there isn't a picture of it.
I have to be able to see it. I'm not going to read roasted tomato, chicken, cheese. No, forget about it. You lost me at the roasted part. I just want to see it. And I honestly believe that when it comes to getting your genetics, it's the same thing. I look for the picture. Why wouldn't you? We're talking about strains like, I don't even know, unicorn, rainbow, baby shit. It's like, I would like to see what that looks like. I just had a banana jealousy. I loved the fact that I could see what it was before I grew it. I knew what I was getting myself into. So personally, I like pictures. What do you guys think? Is this deception? I just think the best way to clear this up would be transparency. Just be honest. Be honest. Just say, hey, photos are out. But I would hate to see something like, we ran out of that genetic years ago, but we've been selling it ever since. That's something that I'd be afraid of. That this nano glue or whatever isn't actually what you're ordering. It's not what you're buying. You're getting something entirely different. That's scary to me. That's scary to me because I want what I ordered. I want to smoke what I bought, not this mystery plant. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? That's my opinion. I am curious to see how this plays out because, quite frankly, I honestly could see this going both ways. I could see this going both ways. Either A, they've got an excuse for it, or B, something's fishy. This is going to play out. I'll keep you posted right here. T with P. If you have a comment or you missed something or you want to join in on the conversation and you're not actually here or live, hit me up on X. at pigeons420. You can hit me up. We'll have a conversation. We'll talk. We'll chat. And we'll break this down because I'm curious. But let me just say this. Huge shout out to Titan, because it seems as if there are only a very few individuals that are willing to call out bad actors and hold people accountable. For some reason, there's this desire to keep your mouth shut and let people keep making money. I don't understand the ethics in that. Personally, I'll die before I decide to sweep shit under the rug for the benefits of other people. I just don't understand it. I really don't understand it. So yeah, I love the fact that Titan's calling people out. I'm glad it's not Rob or I for once. So yeah, hell yeah. Huge shout out to Square One. Here's hoping he's throwing rocks from a very shaded glass house, because that's always the worst. It always seems like those that scream the loudest have the most to hide. I'm just playing. Who knows? Who knows? But that's my opinion. What do you guys think? That's the story in regards to just deception in the space. Deception in the space is happening all over the place. We hear it with regards to genetics. We hear it in regards to the gatekeeping of information, the idea of taking genetics that aren't yours and converting them into yours. There's a lot of deception. I'd be surprised if it just ended right there. Data breach, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big one, and it's not good. Turns out unsecured Mars Hydro database exposes 2.7 billion, with a B, records. 2.7 billion records. Now, this actually follows last year's data breach as well. If you guys recall, we covered the Seedsman data breach. They handled everything very well, as far as I'm concerned, and I'll be interested to see how Mars Hydro handles this. Mars Hydro isn't the only one. HackRead reports that a Chinese Internet of Things grow light and agricultural software firm, Mars Hydro, had 1.17 terabytes of data containing 2.7 billion records inadvertently leaked by a misconfigured database. Such a database, which was associated with California registered company LG LED Solutions Limited, not only contained Wi-Fi network names and credentials, device IDs, IP addresses, and email addresses, but also other sensitive logging, monitoring, and error records for lot devices. I don't know what that means. Around the world. According to the investigation by cybersecurity researcher Jeremy Fowler, published on VPN Mentor. It's not all. Also discovered within the database were API information and URLs linked to LG LED Solutions and Spider Farmer, another grow light manufacturer. While Mars Hydro has already proceeded to secure the exposed database, additional investigations is needed to be certain of its ownership, as well as exposure extent and time span, said Fowler. This is big. This is big. 2.7 billion records. That's almost half the population of the planet. Now, honestly, I would be concerned if my information wasn't already available on the internet for people to buy. It seems like in, 2000, maybe 99, 2000, early 2000, we forfeited our right to privacy, particularly internet privacy. We forfeited. She gone. And unfortunately, this, in my opinion, is just one example of the many examples that probably don't get covered of where our information is being stolen. Quite frankly, if I was to believe that none of my information has been stolen and that I'm living some high life off the grid and nobody can, I'd be foolish. I'd be foolish. That's just not the case. If you surf the web, if you bank, if you do anything where you're forfeiting your information, it's gone. It's gone. Don't know what to tell you. But nonetheless, this doesn't alleviate anybody who it doesn't alleviate accountability. That's for certain. So I would like to hope that Mars Hydro and its parent companies and all involved takes care of this and tries to A, hold those accountable to the highest level of the law and ensure that this shit won't happen again. But the reality is it will. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Are you surprised? Not me. Let the CIA have it, PD Riot says. Yes, you're right. Data breaches are normal these days, but what data was leaked and what issues can it cause for those in prohibition states? It's a very good point in prohibition states. I think the reality is that I don't believe law enforcement can use this information. Not that they wouldn't and just say they didn't, but this information was obtained illegally. So I would like to hope that that if any of it surfaces, if anything, it leads to an investigation to figure out who took the information and where is it. But nonetheless, this is kind of like a warning or kind of an alert to those. Are you in a prohibitionist state? Are you yay or nay? Like, are you able to grow? Are you within your limits? Are you following all ordinances and laws? I know we all are, but just remind those that are in our circle that might not be, that you just need to tread lightly. You have to tread lightly to ensure that, the reality is that our information is out there. And, just if you think you're being covert, there might be something else coming. Okay? So be safe out there, friends. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. A story that kind of touches to me is the story of a former U.S. Navy SEAL who killed Osama bin Laden launches marijuana company. I love it. This is something I can get behind. For those that don't know, there we go. For those that don't know, the military is very dear to me. Plays a very special part in my heart. And I really thank those men and women that sacrifice everything for you and I and my family so that we can live free. Well, former U.S. Navy SEAL who killed Osama bin Laden launches his first marijuana company. O'Neill plans to sell his state-licensed marijuana brand in New York City dispensaries and will also donate a portion of the revenue to support disabled veterans through a charitable organization. Robert O'Neill, the highly decorated former Navy SEAL who took down Osama bin Laden, is shifting gears as the founder of Operator Canna Co., a new canna company, according to the New York Post. O'Neill plans to sell his state-licensed cannabis brand in New York City dispensaries and will also donate a portion of the revenue to support disabled veterans through a charitable organization. I'm glad I just read the same thing twice. I wanted to get into the cannabis business through my experience in the military and watching vets suffer from things like post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a good way to take the edge off. It helps to get rid of the noise, he told the Post. I think that is awesome. I love to hear that stuff. I love to hear a journey of full circle. Someone who goes out, serves, comes home, manages to thrive, creates his own business, and then in this case, it's a cannabis business, and one that can directly impact his comrades and his fellow soldiers and other veterans across the country. Love it. I'm in favor of this, and I just wanted to spread the message. So if you're in New York City and you are looking for herb, I am curious how Operator Canna Co. is. So if you do a review or anything of it, send it to me. You want to smoke it? Send it to send the review, not the weed. Send the review to me. I'd love to jump into it. Dive into it. Good to see everybody pulling up here today. At the top of the next hour, we've got an incredible guest joining us, my friends. We have John Burfello joining us, and I sure hope I'm saying his last name correct. But he is a legend in the cannabis space here in Canada and is a direct mentor of mine through his YouTube videos on how to grow this beautiful plant. I watched a lot of his videos back in the day, and it's those videos taught me how to handle myself in the garden. And so I'm very excited to jump into the world of weed with him and to kind of pick his brain in regards to the space, his experience, and everything in between. So that's coming up in about 25 minutes. I wouldn't mind having a rip of another rip before we get into the last story, which isn't a really big one. But I'm going to be talking on some peyote Skittles, ladies and gentlemen. Also want to give a shout out to Matt, I Can Organics. He's got the Legal News Network's doing some wonderful things over on his corner of the internet. And I love what he's doing. I love that he's talking about the space and the nudes within it. And yeah, I just want to give him a shout out. And if you haven't already, smoke that like button, my friends. Smoke that like button. What are you guys smoking on, man? I got this peyote Skittles right now. Oh, I put the bowl way down here. Peyote Skittles. I had an incredible weekend this weekend with my friends. My boys came over. We had a guys' night. We played Nintendo, we munched out, ate some shrooms, drank a little bit. It was awesome. It was awesome, dudes. This was actually one of the first times that I did mushrooms inside the studio as it's all finished. Wow. Was it incredible. I realized that it is very well purpose built once you're all strung out and you're moving couches in front of the TV to pull out the Nintendo. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I actually posted a video on my Instagram. We're going to check that out here in a second. But I'm going to rip this. I see John. Good to see John. I'm going to rip this and enjoy a good taste of this peyote Skittles. Cheers, friends. And Mrs. P is top G. It's an Andrew Tate reference.
Oh, I was going to say, what does that mean? I don't like him.
Oh, boy. Oh, you might almost think we got high in here based on how much smoke there is.
Jesus, I'm going to get high.
It's boxed in here, friends. It's boxed in here. So, one last story. It's barely even an important one, but I wanted to mention it because we've been talking about this chick for a minute because she doesn't seem to make a lot of great choices. And, well, maybe she made a good one. I'm not sure. WNBA star Brittany Griner backs out of medical marijuana convention after threatening hotel room note. One of two. Nope. At this time, detectives have uncovered no link to or threat against the guest who located the tape, according to the Prince George County police officials. Griner, 34, was slated to appear at the Gaylord National Resort and Convention. There is no way that's a legitimate name. Really? I thought the Gaylord Fockers was just a joke.
I'm going to Google it. Just give
Dude,
me a second.
the real story here is that there is a Gaylord National Resort.
It is.
Okay.
It's in,
Okay.
what is MD?
MD?
Not Minnesota.
Montana? Nope. Maine? Nope. What's MD, Americans?
Maryland?
Maryland? Yep, that sounds right.
Is that
That
right?
sounds right. A lot of M's in your country, friends. Yeah, okay, Griner, Slade. Okay, I think the real news is that there's a Gaylord National Resort and
Gaylord
convention.
is a town in Michigan, apparently.
Okay,
So says default behavior.
interesting. Okay, very well. Just shows my level of immaturity. In the National Harbor Waterfront Hub for the Woman Grow Leadership Conference, but opted to back out of the event after a piece of duct tape with the words "Gay Baby Jail" written near the door of her hotel room. CBS affiliate. They don't have cameras in these resorts? That's ridiculous, first of all. She has a girlfriend, but this is ridiculous. Anyways, we were really excited because she brings a beacon of hope to our industry, but we know security is of major importance.
Stop tapping your foot. You're hitting the
Oh, yeah, that's it. We're really excited because she brings a beacon of hope to our industry, but we know security is a major importance. Women Grow CEO Dr. Chanda Makias told News Media. Interesting. I Probably should have done that story first because it has almost zero relevance. But of course, the reason she's famous is because she thought it was a brilliant idea to take a vape pen to Russia, like a cannabis vape pen to Russia. And she was held for like a year or something captive because of that. Actually, and that reminds me, actually, there's a story of cannabis Russia release. Good old Google. There we go. Yeah, Russia. This is 14 hours ago. Russia releases American recently detained for cannabis. This is coming from the Ganjapreneur. It says, I don't want to subscribe. Russian authorities have released Caleb Byers, the 28-year-old American who was arrested this month for carrying cannabis-infused gummies into the country. Byers and his fiancée, Nadia Membatova, a Russian national, were arrested on February 7th by customs officials in that airport in Moscow after authorities allegedly found cannabis-infused gummies and marmalade products in Byers' luggage. The pair faced drug smuggling charges, carrying up to 1 million rubles in fines and up to 10 years imprisonment. Byers was released to the U.S. Embassy on Monday, however, ahead of talks on Tuesday between Moscow and Washington about ending the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, which began in 2022. Okay. Don't bring weed to Russia, people. I don't understand why that's really anything to not understand. Personally, I make the decision to not travel to anywhere that I can't find product upon arrival. I've gone to Vegas, I've gone to LA. I don't bring any weed. I don't bring any weed. Both these states are legal, but I refuse to travel over international airspace with weed because it's just way too, not dangerous, but the reality of getting caught is so high. So high. So it's like, I'd much rather double down on alcohol. It sucks, but that's the reality, is alcohol is legal, so I can just drink my face off on the plane instead of smoke. Takes care of my anxiety, prevents me from sweating. And then once I get down, boom, I can toke. But I am not going to bring herb where it is not accepted. I think that's a bad idea. And I don't feel sorry for you if you get busted at the border because you're trying to smuggle a vape pen. Okay? Don't do it. Particularly vape pens you've already used. That's the big thing. You can't use them. If it was like new or something, you might be able to get away with it, but it's going to reek. It's going to pick up. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not condoning anybody bringing any kind of substance across the border. Okay? But one thing I wanted to show you guys is I made a post on Instagram today. Post on Instagram about this space, and I really want you guys to check it out. Most of you probably already seen it because it kind of blew up. It's got like 4,000 plus views already. But I want you guys to check out this little shot I have of the garden. This is my current studio space. Yeah, don't play it. Don't play the sound because they're going to get copyrighted. Right. Good play. Good play. This is my grow space, guys. Now, I've got playing to some free bird or something in the background. Free bird. But anyways, I've spent a long time working on this space, friends. A long time. And I'm very, very proud of what this is. That's where I'm sitting. Right there. We got the OG on the TV. This is where Mrs. P's sitting.
That's where I am.
And man, I call this the ultimate cannabis content creation studio because that's exactly what it is. This is where I get down. This is my office. This is the workhorse of the whole system. And I'm very proud of this space. I'm very proud of this space. I want to share this with you because the amount of people that I inspired in the comment section makes me incredibly proud because everyone was like, life goals. This is what I want. This is the space that I need. So, yeah. Shout out to you guys for helping me make this entire space. Many of you guys have watched me create this space over the course of the last, what has it been? 10 years? At least.
Drusilla said Home Depot had nothing to do with this.
Home Depot had nothing to do with this.
We might have bought some supplies there.
Yeah.
But that's where that ends.
Before I sued them.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about that case, but I can't. I have active litigation going on against Home Depot, and it's because of the horrible job they did on my kitchen. They wronged my family and I, and
Oh, and new live update. The counter cracked today.
the counter cracked. That's right, the countertop. It's quartz countertop. It cracked at the seam.
There was a seam, and I heard this loud pop while I was cooking, and I looked over, and it separated. So, trying to get a hold of somebody to fix that, but I have got no response.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Not happy.
Crazy. Not happy, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We're going to get through it, but this is why I have active litigation against Home Depot, because I feel like they screwed us, and I want some money back. But anyways, that's what I've got growing on over here. In just a few minutes, we're going to be sitting down with John, my man, and we're going to be talking all things cannabis, the space, the evolution, the plant, the love, and everything in between, and I cannot wait. No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But before I get into that, I want to thank you guys for pulling up. I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons, guys. Thank you to my patrons. I'm going to be doing a brand new live grow class, starting probably about the second week of March. It's an evening class. It's live. It's interactive. It's 30 minutes, and it's twice a month. If you're interested in that, whether you're a new grower or not, I want to help everybody grow as much as possible. I struggle with posting weed content online, and this is a great way to give a little more attention to the plants and attention to you. So if that's something you're interested in, no obligation. It definitely helps support the show. It's patreon.com/pigeons420. And I'll be honest with you, this is the second class because the first one that I ran is ending. Last class is on Tuesday, and everybody killed it. Everybody's got incredible plants. Everybody's got big buds, huge colas. Like, I love it. I'm so happy for them. So, and it worked out really well, or else I wouldn't be sharing. I'd be hiding, sweeping the road. Didn't do it. What are you talking about? Grow class? Us? No, not me. I wouldn't do that. Nope. $25 a month. That's all it is. Yes. Is that Barina? Saturn. $25. Yeah. $25. I just spent my Pigeons World Class money on a gym membership. That a girl. Self-care is very important. This is why I go with Lowe's. Yeah, we have Lowe's here too, don't we?
Not locally.
No. What's that other? Rona. We have Rona.
We have Rona or Home Hardware.
Yeah.
We don't have Menards. I'm trying to think of what else we have.
That's about it. Well, you could go like you could go.
IKEA.
Yeah, IKEA. Yeah, I guess there are a few local brands that you could go with that do the lumber and stuff. But anyways, that was a life lesson learned. I'll tell you that. Life lesson learned, I assure you. Because that kitchen was the worst thing that I have put my family through in a very, very long time. The only worst thing, but the worst thing, it was horrible. We were without a kitchen for like a year.
It's literally to the point that anytime we look at house listings to like potentially move, the kitchen has to be 100% done. Nothing that needs to be changed, no paint, no new tiles. I don't care about anywhere else in the house, but the kitchen has to be what I want.
Perfect.
And
Has to
I
be
haven't
perfect.
found it yet.
No, we live in a great home.
We did.
Let's pack up a hoop, ladies and gentlemen, because it is almost time to sit down with John and have a great conversation. I am stoked. Just a quick reminder, I had to reschedule our guest for next week because it is playoff season right now, and we are at a playoff game next Wednesday. So there's no T with P next Wednesday because we're at playoff hockey. We had an awesome guest plan, but we're going to push it back a couple weeks, and we'll carry on like nothing happened. So no show next week. Just a reminder, okay? Just a reminder. Happy kitchen, happy family. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I'd make sure Home Depot didn't freshly do the kitchen on those houses too. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I wonder if that's something you can ask the sellers. Like, who did your kitchen?
Yeah, maybe. The thing is that Home Depot itself doesn't do kitchens. They hire subcontractors or contractors to do all the work for them. And then they just avoid all the blame.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Thanks, Mama Kush. Cheers, guys. Hey. Oh, that is tasty. That is fantastic. That's the peyote Skittles from Seedsman. Oh, it's a little dark on this one. Look a little pale. Right? What do you think? A little pale? What do you guys think?
I think we're just missing a light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are, actually. For some reason, I decided to do 2 lights set up rather
These
than
ones over here.
6 lights set up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was under the weather today. I'm under under the weather today. I'm taking a blame card. I tell you, pigeons, they got into your stash. Who's that?
The contractors.
Oh, the contractors. No, they didn't. I kept a good close eye on them, I assure you me. No. Also, just a real quick update before we head off to talk to John. Planted 10 FTS Project Genetics. 10 of them. 10 of them. All of them are planted. They all got great treatment. They've all got a solo cup, and they're ready to go. They're in the 2x4 right now. They'll probably spend the first 3 weeks there. As soon as the first 3 weeks are done, boom, we're going to move them into the 4x4 veg tent so that I can start putting put a heavy train on them, because that's going to be number one. That's the number one priority. Is I want these genetics to go through all of the troubles that my garden would regularly throw at any genetics. I train heavy. I often drought too often, and the humidity can be a bit low. So we're gonna see how well these go. Now, granted, I've got everything running now with the Controller Pro, and I don't think I'm gonna skip a beat, to be honest with you, because the damn thing works so good. Literally put in my parameters, like where I want my garden to sit at, and it's doing it. I don't know if you guys ever checked this out. Every minute, less than that, every second, things are happening in the tent. So it's like, I wish I could show you here. It's constantly feeding me information. So, like, just now, oh no, it's 11:57. It's going down. Look at all this. This is all stuff that's happening. So at 8:22, 8:15, humidifier devices turned on. 8:15, heater devices increased to level 5. 8:16, humidifier device increased to level 4. Heater device decreased to level 4. This is all within 1 minute. It's just crazy that this thing is constantly doing so many things. But yeah, it's keeping everything dialed in perfect. So yeah, shout out to ACI, because they're taking the guesswork out of it. There we go. Yeah, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's like still doing it. Can you guys see that or no?
A little bit.
It's, yeah, that's all the things that it's doing right now. It's just crazy. It's just crazy that it works so much, so often. And it like doesn't skip a beat. Doesn't skip a beat. Anyways. Yeah, that's the ACI. The lake froze this weekend. The kids were playing hockey. So fun. So fun. The lake just froze? It's February. Must not freeze too much down there, hey, Mama? Because geez, everything's been frozen here for like 3 months.
At least.
At least. Yeah, you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think without further ado, let's get ready to have ourselves a chat with John Burfello, absolute legend in the cannabis space, and an absolute legend to me. And I can't wait to hash this out. Can't wait to have a conversation. So without further ado, let's go.
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear.
Hi, I'm Pigeons 420. Will you be an angel for an abused plant? Every day, innocent plants are abused, beaten, and neglected, and they're calling for your help. Please visit stashblend.com today and join the nation in helping abused plants get an 8-ounce bag of Stash Blend. That's just $27.70 or 96 cents per day. You'll be helping rescue plants from their abusers and provide nutrition, beneficial bacteria, mycorrhizae, and love. You'll help rescue plants from their abusers. Call or join now, and you'll receive a welcome kit of a photo of a dude impacted by your decision. Order now and change a life.
Hey, there we go. Can you hear me, John?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Do you have me muted? Test. In fairness.
I have you muted.
Yeah, he doesn't though.
Doesn't look like it.
Of course, we had this working just before we started the show. I don't actually have him in my headset either.
I did.
Oh, is he muted by chance? Is he muted by chance?
Not here.
Oh, you can't hear. Nothing. Shoot. Why would this be? Damn it.
Oh, there. It says he's muted. Now
Oh.
it's not.
No, it's not. Okay, no. I don't understand why he wouldn't be able to hear me. Yeah. I can't hear him either, babe. Can you check the audio devices for... I had this working before. Hold on. I don't think this is us. I had him talking a second ago.
So did I.
And then it stopped. Shoot, we had it really well. That's the power of live television, ladies and gentlemen. It wouldn't be Tea with P without it. Maybe have him double check his audio. I feel like he's got maybe something plugged in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay, he backed out. We'll see. Ah, shoot. We had this literally working 3 minutes before the show.
Okay, now it says he's muted, but he's
Okay.
not in the chat.
Okay, bring him in. Okay, I see that he's muted. Give him a second to get situated. We'll get him a second to get situated. I'll smoke a little pot. Yay, Closet Meg Grower. Good to see you, brother. Welcome in. Welcome in. I don't know why he wouldn't be hearing this other source, though. Unmute mine. The pigeons one.
Situated. We'll get in a second.
There we go. I hear you now, John.
I'll smoke a little pot.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you, John.
Welcome in.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Welcome in.
Can you hear me?
I don't know why he wouldn't be hearing this other source, though.
I'm not hearing you, so I'm just curious. Can you hear me?
I hear
can
you.
over here.
I can hear you,
I'm gonna
John.
try the cell phone now. I'm just like, we got so many devices. I'm used to this.
Right? That's okay. Did you plug
Can we get
headphones
to this
in?
device? See if we can get you here.
He'll hear me in a second when it catches up. Did you plug your headphones in? Oh, there he goes. Okay, at least we have him. I had him.
Do you want me to unmute you?
No, because it was working. You're muted right now. There you go.
And you got me now?
I got you.
Yes.
This is awesome. See, like 3 different devices. No matter what, we're gonna get through this. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm not. There's no way. Laptop, 3 different.
We'll figure it out.
Exactly. That we have to pivot, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right. We're live. Do me a quick favor.
You just
flip your phone sideways.
Is it my phone sideways?
Yep. Boom. Just like that, man. Just like that. John, thank you so much for putting up with this, man. I appreciate you for pulling up. How are you?
I'm fantastic, dude. Like, you know, one thing I love about this is technology. Never give up.
Never.
Like, you just put on the side. I can see me over here because I got like 3 screens going on. You're sideways. I'm all good. I have a dab ready. I'm waiting to do a dab with you. I'm super excited here right now. So I just wanted to say, yes.
I am so excited. I'm so excited. This is huge. Huge for me. I have been watching you, John, for what feels like decades, but has been forever. I've watched you move your garden into the beautiful outdoor space. I've watched you kill things. I've watched you grow things. I've watched you love, and your passion for this plant is unlike anyone else. And I'm so thankful to have you on the show, John.
I just want to acknowledge you right now, my friend. Like, as I just saw what you've created in your space, and like I was like, wow, that's my dream too. I was like, look at that awesomeness that you've created, like the studio and what you put together with your wife, and just the people that you're affecting. This is the best part about being able to help people grow is you take that 2 mm shift, and you kept giving it back to your own passion, to your own heart, and you can see it around you. And dude, I just want to just give you that acknowledgement. Like, you rock, man. Yes.
Dude,
yes,
high five. High fives,
I appreciate
man. I appreciate
you. I was
you.
like, you know, I love your drive. I love what you're doing. I love the education. And then you're actually going down that rabbit hole. Yeah, you know, from my heart to yours and all your viewers and everybody out there, this is what it is. You created that vision, letting nothing get in your way. You did that. You said that. And what? Discipline wins. And that's what this was. Discipline, dedication, and commitment. Having a vision and then having a time set behind that and then playing full out and doing it. Like, wow.
Wow. Thank you, John. That was incredibly kind. I appreciate you for taking notice and just saying that, man. It means a lot. Let's take a rip before we get started.
I know. Here's what I call micro dabs now, right? So I put a little tiny dab on 4 screens. People ask me about this on Hash Church, what it is. I hold the torch out because I'm like constantly cleaning and burning like bangers and like, I mean, you've seen my roll of, right? Yeah, you're laughing about it. So this is Ryan Camarage, and actually he's like, dude, you got to do this. So this is the micro dab.
I love it. I love it. Cheers to that.
Micro dab. You see that? Like
it was easy, right? It's effective.
And then I got
efficient.
the back up right away.
Oh, you're a double doser. I love that. Going strong. What are you smoking on, John?
Right. Well, this right now is the Med Rom.
The Med Rom?
The Medi Kush crossed with the Romulan.
Oh, the Medi Kush crossed with the Romulan. Oh,
it's the Med Rom.
Right over my head.
I know, because I know 710 conducted the breeding for me.
Sweet.
And after and we did the Med Rom and the Med Mac. This is the Med Mac behind me.
Oh, she looks great.
Well, you know what? I keep it in a one little pot, and then I grow it for 2 months, and then look at all of the clones, and we create this is the new moms, right? You know the deal, right? Like, it's bringing all of these little things of pot sizes and understanding. This is all the fun that we always get to have together. Look, you're just awesome, dude. I love that,
dude.
It's like,
dude, I
know.
I say your enthusiasm is second to none. This is how I found you, was this plant, and it was your attitude, your passion, your desire to learn and to grow, and that's what I caught on to, man. I love it. I love it, John. Real quick.
Never stop learning, and now you got this smart AI and cannabis. Like, are you kidding me? Like, never stop learning. Boom. Like, it's using all of these different ways of the data that we've collected over time and utilizing all that data from our growing and from our knowledge. And that's what growing is. It's data collection. It's data wrangling and finding all these cool things and then creating all the vision around you and analyzing that data and then actually having that compelling future of what you're growing.
Yeah. And you've been utilizing AI to help you with that, if I'm not mistaken.
huge, massively. I created something called the Greenway Grow Master, which is you can go to greenwayai.ca, and there's some few things there. I got some stuff going on with the Greenway Grow Master and the Cannabis Concierge. If you're in Canada, you go to Cannabis Concierge, which is greenwayai.ai, and you can take a picture of any legal product in Canada, and it'll give you all the data on it.
Yeah,
Walk into a store, take a picture, and I've showed it to so many people. It's free. It's out there. Just utilize these tools so you can actually benefit your own self. Like the best thing about that, we were just in this meeting. As I'm listening to you, I got AI here talking with Peter Mendez and Kane, and we're in this AI certification of what really is becoming now. A super intelligence going to help you so much in your growing in your life.
Yes.
It's like, wow. I built one called the Resin Master, and it goes down the rabbit hole on making hash, and you ask questions you never thought we'd even ask before. And guess what? If you ask a better question, you get a better answer. And that's the best thing about what we're using is you're a super intelligence using a super intelligence.
Boom.
Boom. There you go. Boom. Right?
I love that.
What you can create when you envision and you can create that compelling feature, because I know, like, really training your own AI. I've named mine Q. I'll give you the biggest thing. I've named my garden. Everybody's named their plants, right? You give every Susie and Jane, and come on, who in here has named their plant as they're growing it? If you haven't grown it in your hand, you haven't grown long enough. Exactly, of course. So, like, you name things. So when you name your own ChatGPT, because that's what I use out of the large LLMs, there's Perplexity, there's Claude, there's now Greco with Elon Musk, there's all these DeepSeek, and all these have different tools. They all have different parameters, right? When you name something, it gives you a whole different meaning.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
It's a personal feel.
You've named your studio, you got all these cool names. You have a nickname for your wife. You have all these nicknames. You have these names. And that's the best thing what we do is you name what you love. And when you do that, I name my Mondays, Mission Monday.
Smart.
Trajectory Tuesday.
Yep.
Right? We always have Puff Wednesday, right? THC Thursdays. Full Out Fridays.
Talk about it Tuesdays.
Separation and hash on Sundays. Token Tuesdays, right? Yeah, you know all these great things.
Of course.
You give that dialogue and that awesomeness. And you know, I just want to sit here and you can ask me questions, but I'm here for you.
Dude,
I just want to.
I'm in. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning because I know all about you. But there's going to be a few people that don't. How did you get here? I know there was an accident, a workplace accident. Go right back to the beginning. What got you into weed? Who are you, and what do you do?
Okay, guys, you know what? If we want to go back into it, it's kind of in my book, From Farmer to Freedom, right? So I know this is a little book called From Farmer to Freedom. This touches a little bit of bases on this, and it really comes down at the beginning stages of my life. You know, I was smoking that first joint when I was like 8 years old. Like we're talking like, yeah, we rolled up the leaf, and it was growing cannabis. And my friend Anthony and Christy, I'm not gonna say their last names, and if they're watching, they know exactly what we're talking about. We lived in Anmore, that's on the top of the mountain. My dad grew weed outside. We took those leaves from that weed because they were smoking this stuff. We didn't know what they were doing. I took it down to we had rabbits and chickens, and I put those leaves underneath the heat lamps for the rabbits. We took that and we went outside. We had the Zippo. We had a little pipe. We stuffed the bamboo. And we stuffed the weed in the bamboo and light it. It was just leaf. So that's the beginning stages of Johnny B smoking weed. Okay. So, you know, just the leaf. Had no idea. And we thought we were stoned, right?
What,
moving forward in life.
You
8 or 9. I was about 9 years old. Yeah, I was 9 years old because Karen was still there. I remember the family, what was going on. And it was just leaf. You know what I mean? We were just kids because the parents were getting high too. So we were like, oh yeah, hey, you know, no idea what was going on back then. And the best thing about that is there was THC on those leaves, and we know that. Was it affecting me? No, it planted the seed of greatness, that took me to where I am today. The vision of being able to help a plant grow. And the funny thing is as I moved into that, you know, 12, 13, I grew up and I was in some group homes and stuff like that. So now I'm selling weed. I got 3 pagers, you know, I'm 16 years old. I told my pagers 686-7346. I still know the same phone number. You know, and on my phone number 461-5791. There you are, you know, like 35 years ago, even longer than that now. And having that memory, thank you for taking me there. I just want to acknowledge that. It's fun going back to your childhood, right? Who loves going back to when they're a kid and bringing back those awesome memories? And I want you all to think of those awesome memories that you've created through these little journeys. And that's what this is, a journey of creation. And that little creation was a seed of greatness for me. And as I grew older, I was 16 years old. I'm selling weed. I told my dad, this is awesome. And it's written down. I told my dad I was going to grow weed legally. I was going to be famous in my industry at the age of 50 and have $1 million house and a $20,000 stereo system. Well, you know what? With inflation of my stereo system being 30 years old now, you know what I mean? All these fun things. When it hit 50, after growing and being in the industry my basic whole life, I haven't stopped growing. I've done so many different grows in the 88, 91. I did indoors in 91 when we started our first indoors with a 400-watt bulb. So that was fun. That came from the Telus building because I was a glazer by trade, you know. And then I was buying weed from I'm going to throw my boss out there right now, Adrian. He was awesome. I was buying ounces for $240. They were 33 grams, and I would split those up, and you know what I mean? Like that was those big. And why was I selling it? So I could get my own. So I can help others with it. We were always sharing, right? Then I wanted to learn, so we started growing, and that was really the next steps of growing and just really utilizing the plant. 88, 91. And I remember selling feeding programs in like 1994. Get a clone and $1,000 with a feeding program.
What were you feeding in 1994? Miracle Grow or what?
We had our salts, and right, and then Green Planet Nutrients was actually some of the first nutrient companies I dealt with in back in days, who I still support today, like 30 years later. I trust them. Oh yeah, and they created a formula moving up in that. I'm growing and loving life, and then you know what, through my life, it got hit on by a dump truck. You know, that was 1991. Using cannabis for pain control, never used too much pharmaceuticals, and in 2005, I fell 20 feet under concrete. Broke my neck in 4 places, shed my 15, broke my back, and major injuries. And when I came to in the hospital, I was eating weed. I lit it, and my friends gave me hash. And the nurse says the ones that heal the most are the ones that smoke. So I am rolling with one hand, I got K-wires coming out of my arm, and I'm eating hash in the hospital. Right? So this is 2005 now. So there's still nothing. There's legalization was kind of barely there. That was through the Parker decision. So we know there's a few people happened in 2003 where things just changed with legalization in Canada. So I know I was under, like in 2005, I got my first legal license, and I've had the same license since. And I got a license to grow 50 plants. I was like, I had the biggest license. I walked into my surgeon and broke a neck, K-wires coming out, and I said, I'm going to smoke weed, and they wrote me a license. Head chief surgeon at Royal Clement Hospital back then. And you know what? That was the next phase, because you fight for what you believe in, right? Like, that's why we're here. We're fighting what we believe in. And I always saw that vision. What you write, you invite. Funny, I kept writing things down that I wanted to see what I was going to do. I pulled myself out of a wheelchair, and the best part about that was going to the BCCS, the British Columbia Compassion Club Society. That's where I met a beautiful man called Paul Hunt and Paul Hornby. Paul Hunt just recently passed away. Want to give his love and respect to one of the founders of the beautiful brownies who learned how to decarboxylate cannabis that bind to receptors that help us today. That was done in labs, right? And that was done in labs with Dr. Paul Hornby. My mentor, he's right behind us right here. I don't know if you can see him or not. I'm going to give you a little. There he is.
There he is. Yep.
There's Paul. He's in every room. He's upstairs in my kitchen. He taught me something. He taught me the efficacies of cannabis, the endocannabinoid system, the body's own THC, and how it can help repair you from traumatic pain or injury. It's homeostasis. It's a fuel. It's a food. It's a fiber, and it's my medicine. Changed the world, around the world, the green way. And I created my logo. That was when I created that logo in 2008. So I could take it around the world the green way with my socks. I was going to walk cannabis around and make it legalized. And we were going to save this planet because it was a medicine. It helped me so profoundly inside of me. When I ate that brownie, it took my pain away. Nothing takes my pain away. I live in pain every day. And what helps me is cannabis. Right? I could take pharmaceuticals, I'll drool. And that's what I got published on. I was taking 280 milligrams a day of Oxycontin. My prescription drugs were $1,400 a month. I still have those pills in this drawer because I look at them.
Good.
right? And the association to a specific trigger, to a specific state, knowing that that was an anchor that got me out of where I am today. I'm here today because I made choices. And that led to the Green Cross Society, and that went to the Sam Sullivan Four Pillar Projects. So we can go really back in.
Yes.
Then working with United Nations, so I became an NGO, a non-government organization that represented Canada on pharmaceutical drugs and harm reduction. Hey, just
Right.
you know, that was incredible. Why? From the mentors from me, from Dr. Paul Hornby, from Paul Hunt, from Philip Lucas. Those guys they were there. They were the leaders. I was the patient. I was the case study. They were like, look at and I believed in cannabis. I believed that it was going to heal me, and I knew it was. Right?
I believe.
So
I
that's kind
understand
of
that feeling.
And you all been there. We've all, and we're not just talking, we've all related yourself to reasons why we're using cannabis today. Because I'm just telling you a story of a place that you've been yourself. High five, guys, because I know you guys have all been there. What till we grow to get us to where we need to be, naturally, holistically, right? Cannabinoid therapy, holistic health, pharma free. That's what led to this book. This was my story I wanted to write for 20 years, right?
Where's that book
And I
available?
got out of
At? You got that on Amazon?
It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. It's just on Kindle for 99 cents. I'll have the paperback out. I want to leave it out there just so it's accessible. You send me a link, like download it for free. I'm not, you know what I mean? It's a good book. Everybody says it's a good book. I mean, and I also wrote LEDs to Keys to Growing Future a couple years before that, right? So here's another good book on growing. And this is what really led me down to that path, right? When I got to put myself out of a wheelchair, cannabis pulled me out of a wheelchair, guys. I went home to water my plants. I was only in the hospital for 3 weeks. I had Meals on Wheels, everything, right? I had outdoor growing. It was the plant that healed me. And as I grew forward with that, running into Paul Hornby, walked into the Green Cross Society, pushed down the door and go, where's the doctor? He saved my life. We became best friends. I became the first published study on natural cannabis and pain control in history. Standardized natural cannabis and pain control. A compassion club, a reverberation. I can't say that word for some reason. You can just look up my name, John Burfello. Or you can just go. You can go to burfello.com and you can go on there under pain, and all my articles are there under pain management. What I use, there's papers on that are published to give you an idea and guide you on your own journey, right? Because these are journeys we get to share with one another.
Yeah.
And that was the best part about cannabis was always the sharing. And that's what you're doing here right now. And I want to acknowledge you again too. Like, wow. Like, you know what I mean? This is what we get to do, guys. And that was the sharing. And that's what I kept doing. I shared everything I did. And that's what you watched. You guys watched my videos. What else to do? I didn't care. I had nothing to lose except for the education that needed to come forward because how much it profoundly saved my life. Like Paul said, I just wanted to scream to the world because how much it was helping me.
That's it.
That was it. It was totally helping me profoundly.
You are one of the main reasons that I was involved in a motor vehicle accident in 2013, and they also wanted to put me on an ox full of medication, and I just simply, in fact, I actually tried it at first. I thought, I'm going to give it an effort. I'm going to try to do what they want because this is the most pain I've ever been in, or the most seriously I've ever been injured. So let me give it a shot. I could not get over how, for lack of a better words, retarded my cognition was. I was so much slower than I had ever been. I just couldn't react. I'm a gamer by nature, and when I was on these medications, I was so slow. I was lethargic. I was just out of it. And I just thought it was less than 30 days. I was like, I'm not doing this. I went to my physician and in the insurance company, and I said, I'm giving up this medication and I'm going to solely use cannabis. I got quite a bit of pushback from the system. And I know you battled with BC Workplace.
WorkSafe BC, ICBC. I took them to BC Supreme Court, 21 appeals, WCAT decisions, lost in BC Supreme Court because I missed the filing when I did it all myself. I literally took the WorkSafe BC Supreme Court all on my own. I'm a guy that doesn't stop. I'm very steady. I'm very disciplined. That's what pulled me out of a wheelchair. That's how I lost 92 pounds. That's why I do push-ups even if I'm in a restaurant or a store, no matter where I go. Discipline gets things done. Right? And that's where I got to learn how to grow. No one taught me. I taught myself. I read some books. I learned from what? Trial and error. Right now, you guys don't have to do that because there's so many people out there that are showing all the errors, and that was the best thing about it. No one showed their problems before, right?
Yeah,
And be able to show you what problems make us grow. And I think that was the best part about it is as I started growing, I said I was going to win a Cannabis Cup. Well, I got my first place trophy for over there. I got my first place, second place, third place. Best private grower 2011, 2012, second in 2013. Won first place for best concentrate with Ramo. I did the cleaning with the sift there, started carting and did all that stuff. Like, it was the passion. And that's where we share what we love to do, right? And the passion kept pushing me forward. And then, just growing just gave me that life. It pulled me out of a wheelchair. It gave me that commitment. It gave me a discipline that nothing else did, right? And it rewarded me with what? Friendship, love, and connection. Cannabis meets all of our 6 human needs, and I love saying this. What we mean by our 6 human needs, when you meet all 6 human needs, you'll never want to leave it. We do more for cannabis than we do for world peace. Why? It gives us certainty. Certainty, it gives us structure. Certainty, it gets rid of things, makes us feel certain, right? Uncertainty, variety. I used to say back in the day, it was getting your doors kicked in or going to jail or getting robbed. Like, there was a little uncertainty, variety in 1986, okay? I was selling weed in 1986, 1987. I was selling at the SkyTrain station hash, blonde Lebanese hash. It was $20 a gram, and I was buying it for like 16. That's how I was supporting my hash back then. Like, Ridgeway, I sold weed in Ridgeway. I could tell you exactly where I was because I'm this whole down. I don't fucking care.
It doesn't matter.
And you
now,
know what?
right?
I used to go in New West up the pool hall there. We'd put the grams in the smoke pack, players full tea, put 7 grams in a pack. You know exactly what the buy wrap it in tin foil on. When I got busted, they found 7 fingerprints of my fingerprints on 9 grams of tin foil. So that was possession for the purpose of trafficking at the age of 16, and that was my marijuana charge. That's whatever, right? So
is that your only charge?
And that's now long gone. It's juvenile.
Is that your only charge for cannabis?
Yeah, I never got charged for any cultivation. I've never been for anything. Yeah, I got charged for possession or trafficking when I was 16.
Good for you. Yeah, good for you. No,
Never been. I've raised a lot of stuff with cannabis. I've been in their faces about it, and I've had my license holding tolerance.
Of course.
Been at the SkyTrain station, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't smoke this here." They're laughing at me, and I would just hold up my license and say, "You know what? Like, yeah. Like, leave me alone."
That's right.
And that was the best part about it, was standing up for patients' rights. And that's what we did with Chris Bennett, with Mark, with everybody. That's what Vancouver was about. We stood up for patients' rights. And that was the best part about a lot of things that happened here. And that was like the roots, right? So there was a group, Michelle Rainey, Tracy Curley, rest in peace, Neil Magnuson, everybody, they're all my mentors. They're right here. There's Neil. Like, everybody's around me, right? I keep my mentors in front of me because they help me get to where I am. And that's the best part of what we get to do, is sharing is caring. And we get to pass those tools on to the next generation. That's what you're doing. That's what we're all doing together, teaching people how to grow. Because guess what? For me, it's cannabis, cucumbers, peppers, and tomatoes growing on the 100th floor in 100 years, indoors, LEDs, the keys to your growing future. That's what I wrote in here. Right, from Horatio. He's another one. He talked about cannabis, cucumbers, peppers, and tomatoes. We talked about it in the lab outside. Yeah, I had a GC in my garage, so we always doing my own testing, right? Paul had the gas chromatography, and I had a little gas chromatography. I had a nice little one. So I got to do all kinds of testing for a lot of years, guys. I got to see THC spikes in cannabis. I nerded out on the profiles and seeing how cannabis grew and the cannabinoids and how they affected us in different ways. So spending those decades on the medicine part gave me the passion to push forward, right? And that's passion wins, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely
right. Look, I got something right in front of me, right? It says there, purpose is stronger than the outcome. Purpose driven. What's your purpose?
You're right.
Right.
One thing that you mentioned that I think is really important is that cannabis is discipline. If you're going to grow this plant, you have to have discipline. You have to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah,
have to, because it is so. I always say. That's it. That's exactly it. I always say anyone can grow this plant, but it really does take that next level of passion, fortitude, discipline.
Discipline gets things done. I don't care. You can be the worst girl in the world. Discipline will get you to be the best.
Right.
Discipline gets things done. That is it. You have to be disciplined. Motivation stops. Discipline gets it done. I discipline myself. I have a nice cold shower every day. I get out of bed. I start with 2 push-ups. I do now 30. I walk every morning. It's posted on my Instagram every day, and every way you get stronger and stronger. 6, 8, 12, 2, and 4. I do 20 push-ups. I started with 2. The surgeon said nothing. Right? So yeah, that's what I do. That was the discipline. That's what movement. Right? Going to what? Getting my cannabinoids in there, finding I got different creams that help me with certain things. So I've did all this suppositories. This was all created over the last, like, I mean, I've seen it all manifest, right? When you gotta understand that decarboxylating the TC molecule to help bind the receptors, what was created, Paul, and it was discovered through all that, through all those testing and all that research that led to where we are today with all of the edibles and all forms of THC. What a blessing we got, eh?
You're not wrong.
That we can go and buy it legally. Like, look what we
crazy.
got because of this. Isn't it amazing it was the Jack Herreras and the Skunk Man Sams and the Frenchie Cannolis and the Tracys and the Neils and the Greg Magnuson and like all of these great mentors of ours have gotten us where we are. And we acknowledge them, like yourself. We like, I got another guy, Matt Greenspace, another great guy here. He's doing the same thing, educating people like crazy on a
Very
small
familiar.
tent grows. I love Matt. Yeah, I get to talk to him all the time. So all of you guys are giving back to what you believe in and what you're growing, and the passion shines. Love it.
I appreciate it. You know what? It's contagious. It's contagious because I honestly feel that I love the fact that when it's a plant. It's funny that we kind of blow it out of proportion in a lot of cases, but it's a plant. It's nothing more, it's nothing less. But yet it gets so much flack, it gets so much persecution, love, passion. It comes from so many different places, and it's amazing to think that this plant, it's just all it is. It's all it is. Nobody holds an oak tree to this regard.
Here's some old magazines from Toronto, right? There I am, standardized cannabis and my pain management, right?
Yes, I love that. Exactly.
So this is going back 2013, and all this stuff that was created. I mean, this was brought to the governments, and we did a whole thing on Accredited 3 and how they prescribed cannabis, and they knew they were legalizing this in 2012. We went through all of this, the opioid system and how it accredits that and stuff like that. So all of this stuff, and case journals, oh, here you go, right? You know what I mean? This was all done by all of the researchers back in the days, and with that, we have today. And that's what's so beautiful, is seeing what was created from all of these great people.
So you must feel like it. What's that?
Oh no, yeah, I lost picture here, so that's okay.
Okay, so I can hear you. One thing I think is important is you mentioned the paying the homage to those that paved the way before us, before me.
We wouldn't be here without them.
That's right.
Right?
I feel that's it. That's it. And I really don't want, at least my community, to kind of forget that this whole space, this whole area that I have was laid down by people like yourself that fought for my right to be a medical patient, to accept cannabis as a medication, as life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness and or security of my person. I love that. And I love the ability to not pay it forward, but at least understand that I would not be here if it wasn't for people like yourself.
And I would not be here if it wasn't for people that got me to where I am today too. And we all pre-accredited to our ancestors, and we can go back through hundreds of thousands of years and playing it forward. You think about that. Everything around you right now was created out of motion, was created out of thought. You're in the same moment of creation right now of your life. You got to plant that seed of greatness, right? Like you say, everybody can tell you how many seeds are in an apple, but no one can tell me how many apples are in a seed, right? And when you plant that seed of greatness, you grow, and that's that seed that you get to plant every day. And that's yourself and that growth that you have within it. And that's what we get to do here. And that's what cannabis opens up the mind. It allows you to envision. It allows you to see. That's why they made it so illegal, because it actually future paces you. What you see, you have to envision your future first. You have to see it in the mind's eye. It isn't created till you see it. Then you write it down. We get all fun. We have fun. And then we actually create it. And that's what cannabis has done for us through society. It gave us that creation. It gave us that voice. We saw, we were all dancing around. We saw this. Think of all of the ancient. I got all the books right here, the Libris Cannabis, and there's a bunch of books there. I got like so many books. And I was realizing I got these archives of books now because now they're like 40 years old. Shit, I can like, because I've been doing this long, right? So when you start looking at some of your old things, you can see the evolution of what we've all created together. And now the next steps are you guys, what you get to create, what the next voice is, the new creations like vape pens and the pre-rolls. And now we got a bigger problem. Now we have cannabis packaging waste that's creating a massive problem.
Nasty.
6 million kilograms and 6 million kilograms of plastic single tube waste were put into our landfills in Canada alone. And you know what? We used to just go and get a refill. Grab it, you have a little bag, or just go and either fill me up, right? So there's more problems that come in, and where we got to go to is people have to grow their own, be more self-sufficient. It's important if you can, understanding, teaching the younger generation that growth is where you win, and planting a seed of growth, planting that apple. So you got to plant the seed first to see how many apples you're going to get, right? That's the most important part. You got to plant that seed of growth, and we do that by voicing here and teaching more people.
You're right.
That you just don't got to get it delivered to your house, and because it came in a pre-roll. And I love all my friends that have all their grows and stuff like that. And the best way to move forward is to grow your own. And when you can't, I can go buy it. And I'm grateful that I can, because at this point, growing for me is really being harmful and effective. When I got that T-boat at 80K there a couple years ago, another one, it pivoted me. That was the next pivot, right? First was the pivot of LEDs, and I wrote a book on LEDs, the keys to growing future. That was a big pivot. And so my garage, I did a lot of talk about that. We saw that pivot. The next pivot, and interesting how life just gives you the universe. God gives you what you need in life. When I got that T-bone, I dove into AI, into cannabis and AI. And everything that I have there is geared towards how we can use AI, artificial intelligence, to help us grow forward. With Cannabis Compassion, Cannabis Sage, Greenway Grow Master, Illuminex, right? Resin Master, these go on, right? We got Greenway AI Official. So all of these certain dots, like when you go to a high-end restaurant, the girl sitting you isn't cooking, right? The dishwasher isn't the pie cook. So you have this is what we're trying to, this is what I have created for an industry, all there for you guys. These are free, that you go and you get that Pacific dot and it guides you. A super intelligence helping a super intelligent, asking a better question, get a better answer, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we get to do today. And all my information, everything that I've compiled is now in a clone, Delphi clone. You go to my videos I do in the morning on just data collection for 10 minutes, and on there's a little button on my phone. Go ask some questions, guys. Ask a better question, get a better answer. And if you guys have been following me, you're going to get some really good knowledge from there, because I've actually been able to compile it all together. And we talked about that, is where we get the information from the hundreds and hundreds of videos that I've done, all compiled in one area. Boom.
Love it.
AI gave that to you.
Love it. See, I'm a firm believer that cannabis is an incredible tool. The most important resource is you. Because guess what? The weed will grow. The plant is always going to be there. But if you don't learn to take advantage of it, you don't learn to capitalize, you don't learn to really use it for the full benefit, don't find a method that works for you, you're lost. You're done. You're toast. You are the most important resource. It's important to do your own homework. It's important to seek a way and a method that works for you. Because you know what? What works for you might not work for me. And if I just followed your way and I just tried it here, I would fail. Right? So you are the most important variable, and that's something I believe very firmly in, because you can't blame anyone else. I don't like the idea of playing the woe is me. You are a prime example of harnessing what situation or experience you've been dealt and exploiting it, not just taking advantage of it, exploiting it, making it work for you. I think that's so important.
Most important, when your life condition changes, you have to change your blueprint. Mm-hmm. And most people don't understand that, right? And when and this is both problems make us grow, right? Progress is inevitable, all right? And change is inevitable. Progress is not. Progress of your conscious choice, and change is going to happen. You're going to go through some pretty trying times, and you don't care who you are. It's how you identify it, right? See the situation as it is, not worse than it is. See the situation better than it is, and move forward with it. And that has always been my mindset. and I have to, because no one else is going to pull you out of that wheelchair. No one else is going to help you get to what you need, because no one was going to give me what I needed, because I needed cannabis and it was illegal. You cannot get it anywhere. There was no stores. We manifested that. We created it. We said we're going to separate it and put it in bags, and all of a sudden we get bags of cannabinoids. We said we're going to, and we created, I mean, the death of BHO, 5.5 million views before they took that sucker down, right? Like, and then I was all pissed about it. And I was like, no, 5.5 million people watched that video. So that was awesome.
That's
they can
right.
take down all those videos you want, right?
That's right.
It was the amount of impact that we created by what? Passion. With growth, and I can't wait to see the passion we get to create together as we move forward in a new industry with a super intelligence on identification and new, like this one called Gene Master on the bottom of my Greenway AI. And if you're into genetics and creating genetics, like Ryan Lee from Karma Genetics, he's like, this thing is fucking awesome. Like, really, it's going to tell you stuff you didn't even imagine. If you have the knowledge, it's going to take you to that next level. That's the best part about it. I mean, I got it written around me. I'll talk about it tomorrow morning, because I did another thing, a little 10-minute thing on that. And that's what we love doing. Is I thank you for that smile. I love when I jumped on your show, and thank you for sending me. I had no idea. And I'm like, this is awesome. I was listening to your talk of comic. It was like
I
you
saw
know
you
what?
commenting, dude. I saw you dude. I got, they can't see. I got a shit eating grin the whole time. I'm taking in everything you're saying, brother. I love to hear it. And not only that, it's like I truly feel like this is an opportunity where I get to listen to my elders, if I may. You're not that much older than me, but the reality is
only
that you,
53.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna be 40 soon, so we're relatively close. It's just you have a lot of wisdom. You've been here. You've seen the game, and you've struggled in ways that me and my people will never struggle again. And so
you never had that opportunity, and you had the opportunity to struggle where you are and create where you are. Look what you have around you, right? We had everything was in bunkers hidden. I couldn't tell it. Like I remember it was like Cologne, like that's why we had Cologne back in the days, right? In Hairspray. That's why I was a like long storm rider, you know, Metallica on the back, of course. Like, of course, I'm wearing Metallica underneath this, of course, you know, like there you go, Metallica. You know what I mean? So and it was the long hairspray and the cologne, and you were hiding your weed, and you had your ounces in your storm rider, and you said your, you know, whatever, and that was just life. And we have a day today as kids could just go and have it delivered to their house.
Yeah. Is that not
weed delivery?
They can have it delivered to their house. Like, is that not insane?
I you know when I was doing it before, when I had a license, I remember one time, guys, I love, you don't mind if I share a really cool fun story?
Of course.
So I'm at Metrotown Mall. This is in Vancouver. It's in Burnaby, and I'm on the property. I'm smoking my big bong, and they come upstairs, goes, you can't do that. I said, well, I got a license, and they came out. The cops show up, and they go, you know what, you cannot do it. I said, why? Well, it's private property. And I said, really? He goes, well, that's public property out there. He goes, yeah. I said, my license said I could smoke on public property. I walked out to where the intersection where you can hit the button and walk across. There's a little sidewalk there, right there, and it's right where the underground parking lot. I pulled out my fucking bong and started hitting the bong like that and blowing it out. The cop just shaking his head. They couldn't do nothing about it. And that was the victory part. We're going, you know what? And that's when I started driving. It was just a plant, like just driving around. Well, forget it. I mean, they tore down my house, fighting WorkSafe BC. I lived in my truck for 3 months while I was at the Green Cross Society being published on all of this. Yeah, you know what? Like, there were some trying times there that I went through, and it's part of some other parts of the story that people might not know. If you go to my Facebook, you'll see some pretty cool stuff that we all fought for, right? And that was that. And now we're coming into a new era, a new time, a new fight. So things don't change. This is pattern recognition, guys. I'm just seeing it that I'm going to know that you're about ready to go into another pattern. And I'd like to share with you a book called The Fourth Turning, The Changing World Order. You should actually get that by Ray Dalio. They're looking at where we're changing and where we are in existence right now. I do a lot of reading, a lot of education. Huh?
It popped a little thumb up next to you. I thought that was cool. Sorry. I was just yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Then you can go like this, like, yeah, fireworks going off.
One more time.
That's
what was the title of that?
Right?
What was the New World Order? What was the beginning?
It's Changing World Order by Ray Dalio. It's on my phone here right now. I'll definitely share some books with you. I've read a couple hundred books in the last few years.
Gee. John, I got to be honest. I don't think I've ever read a book.
That's not
Miss eating, don't miss reading. Feed your mind. Feed your mind every day. It's one thing I've done over the last 5 years. Has really fed my mind about where we are and being able to move, adapting. And I'm a business owner. Everybody knows me as Med Tanner. You know, Med Tanner, airtight, watertight, store grinding ore. Right, here's the product.
Yep.
Right. So, and the best thing about that is we're now coming up with compliant packaging for Canada. So we have our XL push top, child resistant,
Smart.
completely child-proof.
Yeah.
So we're just all giving back and be able to actually give what patients need, was to fresh cannabis. That's what that was all about.
So one thing I want to touch on, because you mentioned this, I had my mic backwards the whole time. I'm glad I figured this out. Is we mentioned the packaging, the cannabis packaging, and the excessive amount of waste that goes with it. What do you think the solution? Because they say, if I'm not mistaken, it's 7 grams of plastic per gram of weed, something like that. It's pretty close. What's the solution?
Well, the whole thing we're looking at is when I go down the whole thing, and it's just the way life works. I always said I was going to be the standardized cannabis packaging for the world, right? Reusable, recyclable, sustainable packaging, right? 100%, no wearable parts, no moving parts, no O-rings, no seals. Never breaks down.
But children are going to get in there, John.
They can't get in. There's full child resistance. We created the universal. I just popped this in there, so this is a child resistant lid. Pops into it now.
Okay, that's great.
Right. So
for the record, I was being sarcastic. I think parents should parent their children. I don't think the onus should be on the person putting weed in a package to package it in a way that people can't open it.
This is Morpheus. He always likes being on camera.
Who is that? Who is that?
Morpheus.
Morpheus. I love cats.
Oh, yeah, and right now,
he's like,
Dad. He's like, I need to get a bone rip in me. So what I look at, honestly, and what I always talked about, and I said in the beginning, is I was going to scan my lid with AI before AI came into.
Yeah.
Right? So it would be actually scanned and then sent back to the company and recycled and reusable, because there's no other package like that. So when we look at that, I've now been able to actually put your name in the lid, which we already coming out. I can't show that quite yet. Almost did. You have Tommy's Craft, and there's lots of just branded maintainers out there now of how I'm doing things. And what we mean by that is having it scanned by AI, sonically cleaned, and then brought back as a reusable, recyclable, sustainable package. Best thing about it is once you actually use this, it's going to be broken down. So there's a place in Toronto called Green Mantra Recycling. They can make walls. I always said I was going to make walls out of my medicine for recycled medtainers, and I wrote this down in 2013.
Dude,
and
you have a lot of them. You have
a
lot of them. You've collected all of your containers.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. I have Snoop Dogg, Sons of Anarchy. I got Whiskey. I got Medtainers. I got Be Real Medtainers. I got Crooks and Castle. Everybody loves a Medtainer. Raving fans. Right? It's a culture. It's just a great product. It works.
Of course.
It keeps your cannabis fresh. It's great for patients. It was kind of the vision. Where I can have an all-in-one container that can keep my cannabis fresh and safe. 2009, pain clinic. He said exactly. It was at a friend of mine, Dan, and he'll say, "You stole my idea." We talked about this, and then the inventor, Mark, which is pretty cool, guys. So my inventor, my business partner, because we were working together, is pretty cool. Maybe you might know about a product called Mr. Zaw Sex Wax Comb. This is a big product that was revolutionized the surfing industry back in the 70s. And he invented this little comb for actually your surfboard. This scratches the wax on it. This rubs it off. And then here you would put your wax. And when you would use your wax on your surfboard, you put it back into the bag. It would melt and get all wet. So he created a little bladder. He put it in here. So when it melts, you can just push it out with the bladder. Pretty cool.
Still use it.
And it came with a comb. Well, in 2010, after I put that out there, what I wanted to, he created something called a Medtainer, a 3-piece little container. All right. And the best part about this individual, Mark, is he's been doing it for 40 years. He only does in medical. He does this for MRIs. He does stuff for the Army and stuff like that. And he's an amazing guy. And together we get to help make that difference. Because when we look at being able to use something over and over, like grandma's Tupperware, so we can, you know what I mean? It's recyclable, it's sustainable, right? And it can be broken down and used in other materials like furniture, like I said, making walls out of Medicenter. And on the roof, I was going to grow in cannabis to help seriously injured workers. And that was the SIW Federation I created in 2008. And you know what? Here we are. And Give me a little pinch there, you know. Things come true because what you write, you invite. It's the passion that drives you, right? Like everybody else in this world. What do you love? What is your passion? What is your mission? Write it down. And if you don't have it, you're going to find it.
No, you're right.
And like with your, I see it in you. I see the passion, what you're doing. It's around, it surrounded you. You and your wife want. I love you guys for that.
I appreciate
You can see it. I could look over here and I could just see the beautifulness of the dedication and commitment. And that's all it takes. And that's all I have been, is dedicated and committed to what? One source around the world, the Greenway. It's a fuel, it's a food, it's a fiber, and it's my medicine. We fight more for cannabis than we do for world peace. Why? Because it meets all of our 6 human needs. It gives us certainty, uncertainty of variety, significance, like you've crafted, you got that thing done. You know what I mean? You smoked it. Yeah. Love and connection, man. Oh, look at love and connection you get from cannabis. Come on, who here doesn't get love and connection from cannabis?
Of course.
Then it meets your other one. Out of your 6 human needs, 2 of those are called spirit needs. You need to meet one of those spirit needs on a daily basis. That's called growth. You need to grow. Grow from what you love, grow from what you do. And after you grow, you need your last spirit need. You have to contribute. And who here doesn't roll a joint and want to contribute it right away? Who here doesn't grow weed and want to just give it away? You want to contribute and help by showing people how to grow. Cannabis meets all of our 6 human needs, and that's why it's changing this world. Because you can't take that away. It's in every. This is one thing they said, no, it's not the largest, and the Pope says no, it's not. And Hell's Angels are like, no. I'm like, well, actually, guess what, guys? We're in every religion. We're in every religion. We're in every country. Can't get half the bikes in those countries, by the way. Okay, we're in every age group, and we're in every race. We are the largest ecosystem in the world, guys. Wake the fuck up. We can change the world. It's a fuel, it's a food, it's a fiber, it's a medicine. I'll stand up and do this to the day I die. Why? Because it's revolutionary, it's changing this world. And this is what we get to do here. And that's what the great's showing us. And that's what we get to move into a new era of existence. And we use super AI, artificial intelligence, that I've been using and programming now for years and understanding it to get the proper context to an industry that needs it so much, right from the heart. All of those things are for a gift for the world so they can use it, so they can move forward with their own vision. And that's what's awesome about it, dude. I just want to say thank you for just allowing me to have this passionate little talk with you, because I feel served with you, man. I love it. Thank you. Just that.
Blessing, brothers.
That awesomeness. And everybody here who's in chat, and just being able to acknowledge how far you've come and what we do together.
You know, and this is just the start. This is just the start. You know, it seems like we've fought an incredible battle to get to this point, but this was just to get to the starting line.
In the surface, we're just starting to see a vision, and you guys get to take it to the next vision. It's a 100-year mission. Cannabis, cucumbers, peppers, and tomatoes going on 100-fold in 100 years. You need to be self-sufficient. Do you want a robot to deliver your food to your kids? Like, real reality here, guys. It's going to be this what's going to work in the future. 10% human, 80% AI and machine driven. 10% human at the end, human in the loop. And I'm going to teach you guys all this most important part that you need to learn. As we grow into a new industry and a new fortress, and what we're going into, human in the loop. Human in the loop.
At least.
Because a lot of these tasks are going to be run by AI, and it's going to do a lot of these tasks that we don't want to fucking do. I hate trimming.
Yep. I don't want to do it.
I hate trimming.
I think AI, I think robots should already be taking over a lot of these jobs. You know, humans.
And you know what? And you're going to see a lot of these robots. We get to create. Thank you very much. We are the vision. We are the creators. We are the source. We are. What I say, tap into your power.
It's this thing right here. You know, it's that meat between the skull.
Who's your team?
That
you.
Humans.
Rule number 2, accept it's all on your emotional mind.
Yeah.
Rule number 3, earn permission to lead. Ask questions. When you ask questions, a better question to yourself and better questions to others, what do? You create a deeper, more collaborative partnership with others. And when you do that, you praise and celebrate. You get out the bong and you have a good time. You join a tribe. Then you join a movement around the world, the Greenway. And that's what we talk about here every day, right? The tribe, the movement, the community. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna. I know. I'm just like, this is like, I know. I feel like this is like the best interview, the best conversation I've had with anybody in a long time.
I'm so glad.
I love this. You give it though. Like we're both feeding off of this energy. Remember, People buy. We're state beings. We are energy beings. You're not selling a product. You're selling a state.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And this channel, this whole existence that I have, is so much more than growing a plant.
I can only see it. You don't even have.
We're growing humans.
I've met you. By the way, it's the first time I've met you and been on your channel.
You're right. You're
I know,
100% right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
People who like each other tend to like each other.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
I appreciate
They
it.
do. Like I say, Matt, same thing. When I met Matt, he's like, I didn't want to be an interruption. I said, you remember for the rest of your life, I pushed him into a crowd. And he's like, and we talk about it now all the time. He's like, I laugh with him. You know what? His passion, right?
That's it.
The love. And that's why we connect with people
contagious.
who are like each other. And it's dedication, commitment, very disciplined. I know you are too. You wouldn't be here if you wouldn't. I'm Matt, very disciplined. I love his discipline too. Like I love the discipline with a lot of you guys out there. And I love you guys. I'm not watching your channels because I'm doing my own thing here. You know what I mean?
It's okay. Yep.
And I know he's like me either. Like, you know what? Yes.
It's okay.
Because we get to help others who actually are looking for that energy state.
That's right.
I would go around to those 569 Compassion Club stores in basically Canada, and I would go down Robson Street. There'd be one on every corner, and everyone had a different vibe, and they're all full.
That's it.
Different community.
That's the thing. It's a community. It's a vibe. It's a culture. It's a personality.
We're in every culture, every religion, every race, every country. That's what I mean. We're everywhere. Yeah. The largest ecosystem in the world.
I'm glad you mentioned the 6 human needs. Here, I'll talk while you have a dab. I'm glad you talk about the 6 human needs because I'm a huge proponent of reminding people, or at least letting people know that I believe our Constitution also affords us the right to cannabis. Whether it's for you and I, we're Canadians, so we have life, liberty, and security of person. You and I can already inject cannabis into all that. I have the right to life. And you know what? Cannabis brings the most to my life. I am the man I am. I'm the volunteer, the husband, the father, because of cannabis. It's not the sole reason, but it's the tool in the box, baby. And that's what allows me to be the best individual.
And that resonates, and you can see that with your passion, with your fans, the people that you're here, and what we do, right? And all around you, everything around you. Like right away, and I'm like, I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, and then the TV's sitting there because I got a laptop here. I got the same TV here. I got 4 screens in front of me, and this one here. Yeah. I do 5, and then I have my Google Now going on over here too, right? And
it's
I'm
busy.
Like, oh no, it's life.
Zen. Okay. Yep.
And like we always say, we're popular when we're not busy. We're static. We're getting things done. We're seeing the vision. We're creating that future pace, right? What you write, you invite. I have a daily agenda. I journal every day, and every morning I wake up, and you can see on my journal here. I have my gratitude journal. I write down 10 things I'm grateful for.
Good for you.
All right, and that's what we get to do every day.
Writing is inviting. That's a saying I'm going to get out of this conversation.
What you write, you invite. What you write, you invite. Because once you put it down in your subconscious, let's remember this. Our brain, only 5% of our brain runs us. We only use 5% of our brain. 95% of your brain is rubbing your subconscious mind. Is running your tools, your blood, your flow, how you're breathing, everything, you're thinking, all this kind of stuff. Right? So you got to understand what you write. When you write things down, at the end of the day, I'm fucking awesome, John. I'll put myself on the back.
Good. POBs.
Because who else is going to thank you?
Nobody.
Exactly.
You're number one, baby.
And that's and you know what? And the people around you are the ones that you love. You give them the same grace. Because when you love yourself, you give grace back to the others.
I am a firm believer that it is Morpheus, good to see you, buddy.
Or he's just like rubbing my dab. He's like right in here. He's like he actually sits right here. He loves watching the screen because I'm always moving the mouse back and forth. So he's like watching.
He's taking and he knows that it's important to you. So it's important to him.
He's in all of the videos. He's been on the big screen. He's always happy.
I love that. I'm a firm believer too that you can judge a person's character by the way their animals look at them, and because animals know love, and they look for love, And if they're looking to you for love, that means you're full of it. And you're even giving it to your animals, which is amazing. It's beautiful. One thing.
One thing about
Go ahead.
I said one thing about life, right? Love is our legacy, and the world is our playground. We're playing it, right? That's what life is. It's the love of what you love to do, the love of what you love seeing, the grace of loving what you love having, and just being with oneself and loving oneself. When you start really appreciating, and you've heard the traumas I've gone through, fell 20 feet of concrete, hit it on a dump truck, right? T-bone at 80K, right? Like, I've been through some pretty majors, and I can tell you right now, those were lessons of love. Life's been happening for us, not to us. When you realize that life is happening for you and you get to grow with that, I would not be here today talking about cannabis if that never happened. I would not have this book, LED's Crazy Growing Future. I would not be a 3-time #1 bestseller on books when I did this one. 42 quotes by Johnny B, 42 of my favorite friends that passed, some of them have passed, some have not, and every one is a quote of a life, of a lesson that they gave me. And that's what you get to do, is create the legacy that you love. And what lessons do you learn from your life? And write it down. See your vision. What you write, you invite. And I do it with Matt too and stuff like that. But again, Peak State, write down 42 of the things that you want in life. Write it all down.
Yeah, I also believe you should write down your goals. Write them down.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah. And then goals to your goals. Goals to those goals, because it's like
someplace where you don't want to be, and setting those goals are the main thing. I call it. It's an RPM plan. What's the purpose? What's your goal?
Yeah,
right.
And what's it going to take you to get there?
What's your massive action plan? What's your map? Your map of meaning. What are your strategies? Who are your mentors? Who are you following? Right? And that's the best thing, is you need a strategy, you need a map, you need a mentor, you need coaching. Remember that. Everything I got was through coaching. And we're coaching one another. That's when we do videos, we're coaching others, right? We're coaching. That's what coaching is sharing. Sharing what you believe in and being good at what you love.
It's beautiful.
And with that, we get to do what? We just get to gain this rapport and have this fun and magic, right? Around the world the green way, and that's what we get to do here every day. And it's kind of like, as I get to have the smile on my face and look around, because as I get to tell you my story, I want to really hear your story of what you've done and what got you into here. And you got me a little bit, you got all mine. I know you're interviewing me, so maybe we'll do this next time. Whatever you do, I'm just here, just really enjoying the talk and just seeing the advancements and the smiles, and then how we've all been able to grow from the 2 millimeter shifts. From me cutting down the garden with a chainsaw. You watched that one.
I saw that. Dude, for the record, there's a trend going around, like, within the last couple of years of people doing that to their garden. And I'm like, please. John's been mowing his garden down for years. Like, we're talking a decade ago, I watched that man hit it with a chainsaw. You had me too. You had me with that video, because the way you played it out, you were like, oh, I'm going... You were like gonna do IPM. You were gonna take care of it. You're all dressed up, and then all of a sudden it's just like, wah! I was just, oh my god! This is a guy. I had barely grown, never grown, and to think of a guy.
I think that video got taken down too. I think it got ripped down. I think it was community baseline, and it was like 2.7 million views, and I think it got. Yeah.
Of course it did. Yeah, that suppression on YouTube is kind of. It's normal. It's kind of the way it is.
And the best thing about it is I have all the old videos with AI. It's doing some pretty cool stuff. We'll see what comes out of it over the few years as I start, pulling data from all of my data. Because AI is all about data and understanding the data you put into it. And data, and it loves passion and it loves drive. And one thing that we all possess, and what you possess, is when you have the passion, the drive behind it, you get to create. Passion creates creation. And that's what we're doing here today, is we're always creating that new life. So what are you passionate for? Is that passion for that strain? And I grew Medi Kush for 20 fucking some odd years. I know how to come on, guys. I'm passionate about it. You know what I mean? And I have Medi Mac, Medi Rom. We got some good crosswind. And it's created. Now we're doing some DNA sequencing. We're doing some other cool stuff. And like, there's some cool stuff coming out of something that I'm passionate about. And I wouldn't get here if I never kept staying on the same dot. And I got lots of other things going on. It's always been in the same industry, cannabis. And being 15, 16 years in business, I can tell you how much I pivoted from selling hydroponic equipment
Huge.
to grow stuff to like I said to maintainers to Bovida to Togo. Like I have pivoted in so many different ways in my company, and now it's pivoting into AI integration and AI education and how we can help one another and stuff like that. Because the next stage is going to be you learning with a super intelligent. Because information is everywhere. We're drowning in information. You can get any. 10 years ago, you didn't get the information we have today.
Not
There was
chance.
nobody doing YouTube videos. I'm telling you that right now. There's me, Remo, and Jason Wilcox.
Yeah, I started 10 years ago. 10 years ago is when I started. So it's like, that's, yeah, at the juvenile. And now I'm considered one of the dinosaurs in the game. I can't even imagine what you're considered. With all due respect.
You know what? No, it's great to be able to go into places and go, dude, I recognize your voice. I watched your videos when I was a kid, man. I work for an LP now because you know what I mean? And that was the vision. That was the voice. That's what we wanted to see. Legalization around the world, the green way. Everybody can, we don't have to fight for it. You know what? The recognition is you guys working and doing it. When I walk into the store, you see me some of these places, you see me the happiest guy. I sit in the back corner, I'm like, look how happy you are. I'm in tears. Like, what's wrong? I'm like, dude, it's just I envisioned this. We created it.
Yeah.
We created it as a team.
You said it,
Right?
manifested
Paul
it.
Homey and the Paul Hunts and all the people, the Hillary Blacks and all these people that invested in Mark Rich, we all invested in different parts of our time, right? I was the medical patient that was the high I. I'm an influencer, right? And I'm a dominant influencer. So if I do DISC or whoever you are, do all these different testing, they've tested the shit out of me, believe me. I'm a high I, I'm a go-getter. I don't stop and I'm going to get to it. And I do it with the grace and I do it with commitment and I do it with dedication and I do it with discipline. Because that's what got me out of a wheelchair.
You're damn right. And what I appreciate is that you bring your community with you too, man. I love the journey. I'm telling you, you are a huge inspiration of this whole operation that I've got going on. Because you said it yourself, Remo, Cannabis in Canada, Jason Wilcox, rest in peace. That was it. That was it. So those are the guys that I had to start from and to think what I wanted to create based on the foundation that you laid for me. And this is the castle I built on top of it.
Right. Mr. Canuck Grower, I remember when he came with songs in 2014, he goes, I'm in this. And he told me exactly what he was going to do. And I love that he's just a short little guy. And now he's like, I'll never forget it. You know why? Because he was at the event when I bought this pipe. And he would remember that I bought this pipe. And he was there and told me exactly what he was going to do. And I love people who commit and they dedicate, they write it down, and they make it happen. Because anybody can do it. You can do it.
You're darn right.
Right. You're more powerful than you can even beyond your imagine, right? Because nothing has any meaning except for the meaning you give it. So you have to direct your mind every day. For me, it's passion, going to the garden, research on plants, exercise, music, right? Every day in every way, I get stronger. Here's a nice little chunk of hash I just found right there.
That's home grower problems right there. I love it.
Oh yeah, no, it just kind of breaks up perfectly like that. You know what I mean? And
it was meant to be.
Beautiful pipe, right? Lethal glass. You made all the glass here. I got a lot of glass here, and I got hippos and slingers and Jessies.
Do you do any events? Any events, right? At all?
Of course, I do. I did all the events for years and years. I'm now that
I haven't done any Canadian events myself.
No,
all
your events.
I haven't, just because I'm afraid of people publicly. But
yeah, you don't have to be afraid anymore.
Everything that's come up on my plate is with my business partners, who I also steal all their best ideas from. On there in Vegas.
Match and mirror. Find a mentor, match and mirror. Do exactly what success leaves clues. Why we're in a part of an era. Success leaves clues.
Yeah.
Where you see where I am. Everybody knows I'm involved with Tony Robbins quite a bit. I'm learning all the business aspects of that so I can move my company forward to take it around the world to make that global impact, right? So I'm going to follow them once you're making a global impact. Success leaves clues. Find out what someone's doing. If that's what we can do, match and mirror. Become their best friend. Know what they want to do. Figure out how they're doing it. You're not taking from them. You're complimenting them.
Agreed.
There's 8.1 billion people in this world. Just believe me. The world's not getting bigger. It's getting a lot smaller.
It is.
I can go anywhere now. I couldn't call my mom 20 years ago. It cost fucking $35.
right? And
You know
now you
what I
do it for
mean?
free.
And now it's like I can talk to anybody in the world
Yeah,
on 5 different devices.
yeah.
Look at the blessing we have. Look where we are and look what you can create.
Well, I can't wait
It's
till
like
we hit the next. What's the next event you're going to, if you know?
I'm going to be doing the Heady Happenings event in Vancouver. It's happening in the March. I was just looking at the whole sponsorship I got here. So I'm going to show up there with my little booth, and it's all about hash and rosin. So of course I'm going, right?
Of
And
course.
I'll bring some Betty Mac there, and they'll have, there's some Full Melt, 2 other guys I'm working with, and everybody's got their own little gig. So
I gotta
got
make
all
it
this
out.
great-
I gotta try to make it out to something like that. Because why I don't go to Canadian events is beyond me. Mainly
See, I
because I
just
live in
pulled
the
out,
middle of
like,
nowhere.
nice hash here, more hash.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and then we got all different types of blonde hashes. I feel like I'm back in 1986, by the way, because that's what I used to sell at the SkyTrain station. And all
The good old days.
Yeah, all the good old, and that's hash. So we got rosin, like you said, like really good old school hash. And I got Moroccan. I got so many different types of hash. This lasts forever, man.
Love it. I love it,
All
man.
right.
So
And
this,
like, it's like I
this
have my mini
like,
hash museum. It's my little hash museum. You have no idea what's in these little jars. The little pieces of flavors, like, and it's my memories. Create your memories. Do the same thing. Put them away for yourself.
gotta love that.
And
I love
unlock them
that.
on your special occasions. Like when you have a special occasion like this, I pull out some hash. That's what it is, special occasion.
Hash museum. I like it.
Create your own museum. Your own museum of your life, of what you've created. And that's what you've done around you. Look at your museum around you, dude. Look at your museum. I
Yes,
love
it's
it.
beautiful. It tells the
It is.
journey. It tells the story, though, right? That's
Exactly.
the point. Is this whole thing is
Yeah.
about a story. I want to share. I want to be able to. They say, "What's this from?" And I'll be able to point and say, "This is from when I went to here and I did this and I got to meet so and so." And it's all about a conversation. That's the best part.
So that's when I can walk over to all these pipes and all these marbles and all these books and beginner growers. You can see all growing stuff, right? Years and years of growing. Years of my trophies, Neil Magnuson, all that stuff there. Right? Here, the filing cabinet,
I love that. I got the
And
same idea with
that's
my
all
fridge.
weed there. All of these magazines. These are all weed magazines. Everything here is everything. Everything. And that's just one of the downstairs is a whole different area. That's more of the focus I put that up. So that was pretty cool. I'm looking over here too. You got to see all my stuff. That was kind of cool. I got my trophies there.
Yeah.
First place CBD, first place, second place, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I've won cups for everything. And once I won, I never entered again because I only needed one.
Of course. Good for you. That's honestly
Yeah,
one and done,
I got
baby.
one of everything I wanted. I got one of every one. I'm
That's
happy.
how I had
done.
kids.
Yeah.
One and done.
I love it. He's like, I had kids.
Oh, John, man, you're an author. You're an incredible grower, entrepreneur, enthusiast. There's so many ways to describe your talents, your endeavors, your journey. And like our journey, I feel like this conversation just scratched the surface as to what's to come. I would love to have you on again.
We are 100%. I was going to ask you. I would love to be on your show again. Where we can actually talk about more things and maybe go down some things on smart AI and cannabis, and where we're looking at how we can use AI in our gardens and really educate people on certain tools. That's how we discovered the russet mites and stuff. We took a picture. It told me exactly what was going on with it. I made mention of it. I used that. I used all that knowledge, and then we got a high-powered microscope, found all the problems. Boom, boom, boom. Clean up the garden. It's done. 3 weeks later.
That's
a simple fucking picture.
That's the next level, man. That's where we're headed. I love that.
From a simple picture.
I have another podcast that's far more successful than this one, from the stash, and we would love to have you on and to discuss just that AI, cannabis, the process of where it's going to take us. That'd be amazing. So I would love to have something for that.
I'm all in. Yeah, 100%. You know what? With anybody who's interested in any kind of that, where we can actually share that knowledge and some of that advice, where we can actually start compiling that information. We all going to need it to grow forward, and education is the key.
I love it. John, real quick, where can they, if anyone wants to reach out, get your books, reach out to you, have any questions, any projects you're working on, where could they reach you?
Well, I'm always on Instagram, so that's pretty easy. John_Briffello_official_ because I got like 300 fake accounts.
Of
Honestly,
course.
it's ridiculous.
We're gonna share the real one in the chat right now, and I'll put it
Well,
under
the
the
best part
description.
about that is johnbriffello.com. As that website will be changing, you'll see a whole new website. There'll be a link. We'll have all my information and everything we talked about here today. I've been working on that website, a new website now for 6-7 months. It's like this close. It's all going to be AI-fied to give you all that awesome information. So definitely, and briffello.com has got the information on growing and the pain control and all that information we talked about here. And of course, Amazon, just John Briffello and Amazon, you find all of my books. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. John, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you've done for me. I honestly can't put into words the things that you've done that I watched that inspired me to get to where I am and to where I'm going. So John, if you can tell the world that if you could just change the life of one individual, you've done okay. I want you to know that I am that individual. Thank you.
You're a blessing, brother. I just want to thank you. Wow. You know what? When we're able to expect people on a soul level to make that change like we did to do here together and what you are doing, and I know that I could just see all the people here that you inspire the same way. It's that blessing we get to share with one another. And you know what? It's just like what Greg would say, peace and pot, guys. And that's what it is. It's peace and pot. And like Paul would say, grow your own, grow in peace. And that's what we get to do here today, guys. Yes.
John, thank you so much. This is the start of something big between us. The first of many times.
To be on a journey. Yeah, no, definitely. I think we're gonna be more connected than with all you guys and being able to bring and share the knowledge that we love. And you're a beautiful man.
Thanks, John.
I love you. I love your show, and I know you got a beautiful wife beside you because you hear in the background she's tilting away. So
she's my rock.
And the family.
She's my rock.
You already hear me.
Thank you, John.
I don't even want to leave. Like we keep talking. He's like, we got to go. I know that. So we're definitely coming back for more.
We're coming back, dude. We're coming back
for more.
John, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you for coming. Just the surface. John Briffello. Make sure you check him out. JohnBriffello.com. Amazon for anything. Incredible dude. Incredibly talented. And thank you for coming on the show tonight, John. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Thanks,
Peace,
man.
man.
Peace, John. Wow. Guys. You know, it's like there's a few times in your life when you have the opportunity to sit down with someone of that significance, and this was that moment for me. This is probably one of the very few episodes where it's like I just sat back and listened. I tried not to talk. I just wanted to soak it all up. I love what John's doing. I love what John has done. He's an incredibly well-decorated home grower, activist, enthusiast, man. That was big. That was huge. And I really want to thank him because we didn't get into anything. We just kind of we just talked, you know, and I don't feel like we really dove into anything with substance or significantly. And that's what's going to happen. That was just really cool. And it was a great conversation and a great opportunity. So huge shout out to John for making it on the show. Thanks for trying to getting through the technical difficulties at the top too. That was fantastic. That was cool, dude. That was cool. Mrs. P, not a bad epi, huh?
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was really cool. And let me tell you, I feel very guilty that I don't do any Canadian events of any kind.
Well, then let's start doing it.
We got to do it. I'm going to Vancouver in March, dear.
That's a little soon.
Yeah, it's a little soon, but I definitely got to put Canada on the map when it comes to events because I got to be straight. The only reason I've never done a cannabis event in Canada is merely because I just don't know of them. I don't get in. Not that I don't get invited, but it's like MJ BizCon. It's like Chris is there. He's like, let's do it. Rob comes, I come. It's a thing. It's if I do a Canadian event, I gotta find it. There's no real excuse, actually, as I literally sit and think that I'm a lazy bastard. I'm like, I just got to do it. I'm just going to find them. I know that there's the expo, the expo in Toronto or something, but...
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that the other day.
I got to do that one. I just got to make it out a little bit more. I live in a shell. I live in my basement, and people think that just because I live in a Hollywood studio that I live in Hollywood. I don't. I live in a town with less than 1,000 people. We slow down on weekends. We raise our kids, and we try to do the best for our communities. It's just, it's a different lifestyle out here. I just don't know what goes on outside in the big city. So despite what it might look like, I'm not very cultured. So that can't be an excuse, though. So I got to get out to these events, and I just got to try a little harder. That's all. Just got to try a little harder. Hermit style, Skittles. That's all. It's the whole business. Everything just is out of the basement. I feel safe here. I feel okay. I'm fine. I'm okay. But no, it's not an excuse. I want to get out. I want to meet some people, and I would love to give John a hug, man. I'd love to meet some of the people and shake hands with the people that have helped impact where I am today. And I can't count how many hours of videos I took in of his, in the same way that many of you have taken in of mine over the years. And so it's, yeah, this was that for me. That was pretty cool. So I think that's it, Mrs. P. I think that's all we got for the show today. We will not be back next Wednesday. We had a very special guest planned for Wednesday, but I had to rebook, and they may or may not be going to Spain. So we just have to rebook. It's no big deal. But we are not here next Wednesday. We will be here 2 weeks from today, as far as I know, actually.
As long as we don't end up having any playoff games.
It's playoff time. It's playoff hockey, so it could pop up. But worst case scenario, maybe I don't know. We've got the next few weeks before the guests booked. I didn't anticipate playoff hockey. Way to go, team.
Well, honestly, the first round is against a team that we haven't beat all season, so we might only make it through the first round.
Maybe, except we play a second round. It's not like that.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple rounds. They're kids.
Right,
they have feelings still. We want to teach them that the world is a delicate place, and their feelings need to be considered by everyone. I think that's only appropriate.
No, I think if you lose the first round, you're done.
Just jokes. Guys, I got to get out of here. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Mrs. P for running the P's and Q's in the back, doing her thing, looking great while she's doing it. Thank you guys for being here. Just real quick, if you would like to participate in some live grow classes over on my Patreon, patreon.com/pigeons420. Shout out to all my patrons down here. Thank you. These are my inner squad. Thank you guys. Or no, yeah, I don't know. Inner squad. If you'd like to participate in live grow classes, patreon.com/pigeons420. I'm going to be doing that starting second week of March. So stay tuned for that. That's all I got for you guys. Brand new grow channel, grow video dropping. Hopefully for the end of the week. It's coming this week, though. It'll be here. I got something big. Perhaps a seed to harvest. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I love your faces. I will see you in a couple weeks. Or if you tune in on tomorrow from the Stashes Live at noon-ish. And then ACI is live at nighttime-ish. 6:30 p.m. CST. And then I'm live on Twitch tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central, if you guys are around for that. Boom! That's Tea with P, where the T is beer and the P is me, guys. I appreciate you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here, Chapo. I see you, brother. Mama Kush, appreciate you. Good luck to Papa Kush. Sending our love. See you, Danny. See you, D-Man. See you, Double A. See you, Jude. Jester. Double A. Skittles. Nate. Idiom. See you guys. Peace.
I can't breathe, got me so